Touche.
Trying to make go ahead.
No, you got it.
I was gonna say trying to make sure that I eat less. I a couple weeks got a colonoscopy.
Oh.
Yep.
Mm. Yeah, that sounds like no fun.
Well, not doing it because I think it's a good time had, but for sure, that's for sure. But a couple things that led to that, the untimely death of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
And he was 43. He's only 2 years older than me. So only 2 years older than me. And then I got to keep my health good for my family for as long as I can.
True.
So all that good stuff. Is Carolina still currently Carolina? Are the Patriots still currently getting beat by the Jets? Last score I saw was 27-20 Jets.
27 up, 34 seconds, and apparently New England has the ball.
About to say, the Patriots can't lose to the Jets. I mean, they can lose to the Jets, but
I'm going to say, why not? Why can't they?
especially with Buffalo beat them on the Seahawks. So Seahawks are definitely looking touchable nowadays.
What do you think? Seahawks got a lot of games that they won by the hair of their chinny chin chins. So
their defense is bad, like really bad.
Yeah, you got to think they were a play away from losing to Carolina. I mean, losing to the Patriots. They don't tackle Cam at the goal line.
Yep.
Who else? There's somebody else they beat very closely in a very contested game.
Well, it wasn't us.
I definitely didn't say you guys. No offense.
None taken. I know where my team stands. I like to think of myself as a realist. Look up what happened there. Seahawks. They lost a close one against Seahawks. Lost a close one to the Cardinals. Won by 1 point against the Vikings. That might be the one you're talking about. And another two close ones, one against the Dolphins and one against the Cowboys. It's going to be hard for Russell Wilson to finally get that MVP if they don't play better. The MVP works a little different in football anyway, so.
No, I still tend to go to the quarterback with the best record.
Yeah. Trying to think. Has there any been quarterbacks with? No, you're right. Because even when Matt Ryan got it, the Falcons were 13-3, 14-2, one of those.
No, y'all didn't have the best record.
No,
y'all were 11.
We're 11-5.
You were 11-5. Dallas had the best record that year, and we beat Dallas in the divisional round. And we didn't give it to Brady because of the suspension.
Yeah, where he threw 20 touchdowns and only 2 picks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it does work the same way. I'm trying to go back in my brain when was the last time a quarterback with a not so great record won the MVP, and I can't recall of any. I was gonna say Favre, maybe one of those Green Bay years before they won the title.
Oh wow. What's called? Patriots are down to the Jets 33 with 3 seconds left.
I think the Patriots got this one unless some tomfoolery occurs.
50-yard field goal to win it.
Their kicker is no longer Gostkowski anymore, right? It's who's their kicker?
I have no idea. They won. Nick Folk, 51-yard field goal, good for the win. Jets go to 0-8 or 0-9. Excuse me.
Trevor Lawrence, here we come.
See that, but that's the question. If you're Trevor Lawrence, well, we'll get in. We should get into that stuff after. Let's see. Does this work? Yeah, it does. Go on, bust a freestyle, Lawrence.
I don't need to embarrass myself.
Go ahead.
You first. I'll fall behind.
Turn my headphones up. I got
Turn them.
Give me my headphones so I can turn them up.
I said, turn this up.
Pretty doggone good beat. Appreciate it, Kobe. Shouts out to my homie.
Welcome to another edition of Two Piece and a Biscuit. We still waiting on those Nevada votes. I'm Lawrence Bart Addison. What's up, everybody? And I got my main man, Ian. What's up, Ian?
What's going on? We here.
We out here. We out here.
Our vote matters.
Our vote definitely matters. And that's really been important conversation that we've had over the past few days, especially with the election happening last week. And we finally have President-elect Joe Biden and our first Black woman. I always mess the name up.
Don't do the Don't you do it.
I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to say Vice President Harris.
Kamala.
See, long story short, I was saying it right. And my wife corrected me, and now it's a mental block. And now I can't get it right anymore.
What should get you to say?
Oh man. I always want to say Kamala because of her, but it was Kamala because that's what I heard in my head with Barack Obama. But then she said that, and now I butcher it every time I make mistakes. So now I just say Vice President Harris. I don't need the AKs coming after me.
Yeah, you don't.
No, I don't. I really don't. I don't want to smoke. But anyway, so we got a new president that's coming. The inauguration day is on the 20th. America can come back to being. It can be great again, right? Well.
Do that out loud.
Well, maybe not great, but it can be better than what it was. Because, under DT, we had problems. One of the things that I would say about Trump in 2016, when he first got elected, I thought, well, he's going to be a do-nothing president. He's going to be a president where, all right, well, his 4 years are going to go by quickly. We won't notice anything that he'll do nothing significant. And I couldn't have been more wrong about everything I just said. I think some of the ugliest parts of our country kind of reared its ugly head, and it brought misery to a lot of people, you know? So with Biden being in office, we can have a actual true politician. You know, I like my politicians to be politicians, in, you know, just like I like my rappers rapping, I like my basketball players playing basketball, I need my basketball players being rappers and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we can get a better response to COVID. Shoot. And then we can get some of these people that are not down for equality. They can kind of crawl back in their holes. What you think?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for all the people that are watching us on Facebook Live. Please hit that like button, share the stream, and we have no problem getting you to join in the comments and join the conversation with us. That being said, those people will not be going back into the holes because they're already out. They're out there in Bolden, and this just because President-elect Biden has been elected, that's not going to stop them from complaining because, as you can see, they are not taking the count serious. They don't know whether they want us to stop counting votes or, count all the votes. Either way, they're going to fight. So I won't be satisfied until January 20th when Biden is putting his hand on that Bible and Trump is out the back door.
Yeah, I think it's really an interesting time that he's still trying to contest it. You know, he has Barr out there looking for voter fraud, and we know that voter fraud is a minuscule problem. And even if they do find evidence of voter fraud, it's not going to be an enough amount to change the polls, change the votes, change who's the president, right? It's not going to put a halt to anything. But I find it really interesting that that the only voter fraud is occurring for Trump. You know, it's not occurring for Mitch McConnell. It's not occurring for anybody else. It's just him. Like they're only out to get him. Wouldn't if I was a fraudulent voter or something like that, wouldn't I be trying to go after everybody? Like, let's just make everything as democratic as possible. You know, wouldn't that be the thought? But no, it's just about Trump. So.
Well, I've never been a cheater myself, but I would say that it would be interesting if you went from being a C student to all of a sudden have a 100 on a test. I'm pretty sure that'd be very questionable. So that being said, that's why they're saying, hey, Trump got picked on, and pretty much everybody else got to keep their jobs. Yeah, I mean, I don't believe that there's fraud. I believe that every vote was and has been counted. Unfortunately, Trump went against the mail-in ballot and told his base, hey, don't worry about the mail-in ballot because they're not going to be legal. And many states, said, yeah, they are legal. And to top that off, our process is to count the mail-in ballots last. So when you're getting those election day numbers and the early voting numbers, posted on your TV screen, you thinking that you won, like, yeah, you've won that number, but we still got record numbers of mail-in ballots because of COVID and because people were told to get out and vote, figure out a way to vote. And if you can vote from home, do that. And they took that option up, and here we are today.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the mail-in voting because, overwhelmingly the mail-in votes have been for Biden. And it's a little bit because Trump told his voters to go vote in person. That's why he's not getting any late votes. And yet he's wondering why he's getting that Biden is getting such a big bump in the mail-in votes. So I don't know. Like I said, it kind of backfired on him. But let me ask you a question. When you heard that President Biden, or President-elect Biden was nominated, he was going to be the president, where were you at?
I think I was at home. That was on Saturday. I was at home. So
Mhm.
no, actually, scratch that. I was working a high school volleyball championship tournament,
Okay.
and I got the news from from my relatives that all sent texts, and they were all jumping for joy and happy. And again, the same very first thing I said is this ain't over. Just because
No.
all because the media said it, he's not going to take that result lying down, and he hasn't. And the fact that everybody was partying right outside the White House, and you can see acting and seeing everybody basically say, "F Donald Trump," he wasn't happy. He's not happy. And I think he's gonna be on a scorched earth tour and literally try to scorch the earth, before he's out. You saw he already fired his his Secretary of Defense today. Lord knows who else he's gonna turn around and fire. And yeah, it's gonna get really ugly before it gets better.
Well, that is definitely one way I thought about things. I definitely didn't think that just because Biden was elected, that he was going to be done. But on another note, some of the Republicans are kind of backing away from him. They're saying he should accept the results. He's getting consultation from his inner circle, like, hey, you should just concede, which is kind of big news.
When does he ever listen to them?
It's not about listen to them. I think normally people just follow, and it's the weirdest thing that people just follow everything that he does. But now that he's actually like it's out there that people are telling him, hey man, just concede, just give it up. That's something in itself. I don't know how much you take a look and poke at Fox News at all. Yeah, I figured you didn't, but the White House secretary, she was out there making statements, and Fox News kind of cut on her because they were like, she doesn't have any substantive evidence about voter fraud, and they said when she has evidence of voter fraud, we will cut back to her. That's kind of big because Fox has kind of been putting up whatever Trump or whoever is supporting Trump, whatever their words are. So that was big. So I don't know how much scorching of the earth is going to happen under Trump. I think when you look at him, he's a dead man walking, and I think people are already ready to accept moving on into another time, whether it be you voted for him or you didn't. That him being Biden.
Yeah, I think there are people that are backing away from him, but there's still a lot of people that are rolling with him, and that's the scary part. We talk about the fact that you have record numbers of voting across the board.
Yeah.
And people are touting, hey, we had the second largest total of votes ever amassed in U.S. history. Yeah, you were second for a reason because you lost. So it's 49% of the country still voted for him.
Right.
And
Right.
you still got a majority Senate that is still rocking with him and his ideology, and
So
that's forever transformed the Republican Party because they can't put that back in the hat. They can't.
right. Actually, now that you made this statement, I got two things that I would like to add. One, with Trump being the way that he was, why do you think people voted for him? Why do you think and it's an overwhelming number. It's actually shocking, given that they had 4 years of the things that he's done, the things that he's supported, the dog whistle racism, the bad mouthing of people and other politicians. Why do you think that people supported him? Because I don't really believe that. Well, I did for a while. I struggled with it, but I don't really believe that the people that supported Trump are all bad. So, why do you think somebody would support Trump?
I don't know if I really want to answer that question. Yeah, it's gonna be really scathing. and might be a real indictment of people.
Mm-hmm.
They may not like it. So I'm actually going to plead the fifth on this one. I feel like
Okay.
I negated.
Okay. So I don't think mine is going to be as scathing as yours. So I'll go ahead and say what I think. I think that a lot of people supported when I've asked people, they believe that Trump was good economically and financially for them. They believe that he made the military strong. One reason they didn't want to vote for Biden because Biden has a tax plan. And I don't know how many people have read over that tax plan, but I recently did. And I think part of this, because like I said in the earlier comments, is that we need to understand why people voted, why they did, and this country needs healing. Because it's not even about Democrat, Republican. It's why did you vote for Trump? Because he was not a politician. His whole 4 years, he was not a politician. I get George Bush, right? I get Mitt Romney. I get Senator John McCain. I get all of that. But Trump was not a politician. So what made you want to vote for him? And I truly believe that it's because he provided some sort of security for some people. In the nicest way I can put it, because of course I have other thoughts that probably align with yours, Ian, but because we aren't going to be scathing or anything like that, I believe that some people looked at Trump as a security blanket, and people's security is their money and the military, the might of the military. So whether I agree or disagree with that, that's something. But I think understanding where the other side comes from is going to be a big part of it. Now of course you got the other ones that wanted to vote for Trump for other reasons, because of the inequality. They wanted to see things that they wanted to see the way things used to be. The good old days, if you will. And I think that's problematic because we're headed towards future. The future means everything changes. It means the people change, technology changes, the finances changes, everything changes. More people are getting a piece of the pie. So, we have to grow. We can't stagnate as a people. We have to grow. We have to be vibrant in all the ways that our thinking can be. So,
all right, I'm going to answer your question because I feel like that was going to be the week where they take the fifth. So I agree with you that a lot of people voted with their pockets, and unfortunately, a lot of people voted with their hearts. Sometimes their heart was against equality, and in that form, they use words like socialism as a way of trying to, how can I say it, explain their lack of a want for equality. So they call things socialism. Medicare for all. Oh, that's a socialist program. Not really, but okay. Why wouldn't you want Why would you want health care for all people? Because you're greedy. But let's see what else. Trump played on the emotions of many different groups of people. If you were the white male that felt like you weren't, that didn't feel like you were put on the pedestal you thought you deserved, then he played on that emotion. You were, him being a part of the Republican Party, just like the narrative that's said about black people of, black people vote Democrat because that's where we've always voted. A lot of white people tend to vote Republican, especially if you're part of the Republican Party, because that's where you've always voted. You voted just based on that pattern. So a lot of people put a lot of the negatives that Trump had and set them to the very far away side and said, you know what, he may be a racist, he may be sexist, well, not maybe. He can be sexist, he can be racist, but he's good for my pocket, he's good for me or at least I think he's good for me, the individual. And it's ironic that his tax plan really did nothing for not well the middle class doesn't even exist, but it didn't do much for the common man themselves. And so they worry about Biden's potential tax plan, which wouldn't go into effect unless Congress voted it in. Got to remember that. And it only affects the rich. Not so many rich people walking around here. A lot of people that want to be rich and may have thought, hey, if I get to this level, this is where I'm going to be taxed at. But you got to get to that level first. So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Biden's tax plan. When I was looking over it, I think you're right. You have to be rich, but when we're talking about rich, we're not talking about people that made $100,000 or $200,000 or $300,000. We're talking about people who made $400,000. I don't know about you, but I don't know that many people that make that much money. And if you are making $400,000, why haven't you put your boy on game? That's what I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get in where I fit in. And at that point, when you are making $400,000 or in excess of $400,000, you're looking at a 2% increase in taxes. So I just don't know what the difference was really. But like you said, he going back to what you said about Donald Trump, he did play on the fears of people. And the other part to that, you talked about white males. They're black males actually too that voted for Trump in big numbers. If you look at some of the polls now, and I'm going to be very interested when the final numbers come out, that more black women and black men both voted for Trump, which is surprising to me, given the 4 years that we had, the 4 years of information and data we had, there were still more black voters voting for Trump. So, it wasn't just white males. It wasn't just.
Yeah. And you did have black folks that, like, again, just like you make excuses for people that you like.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, if they like Trump, they said, well, he's a good businessman. Well, everything that he's gotten into has failed some way, somehow.
Right.
He's a good businessman. That means he just has the capital, or he's got people that are willing to give him loans to start up multiple businesses over and over and over and over and over. And as black men, I won't say we, because that doesn't include myself, but the narrative has been that we don't show up for voting. It's usually black women that vote in droves.
That's true.
And when we're looked at as a voice that's not heard, we tend to do things that cause us to be heard. So you would think, I guess our thought is, hey, if we vote for Trump, he's going to give us something that we want. But Trump doesn't care about anybody but Trump.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we get got. That's where the celebrities have gotten played in recent days.
Yeah.
To the election.
You think about Cube, or you think about Kanye before him. I don't think Lil Wayne got played. I think he went up there for himself. I don't think he got played.
Yeah, but again, those are the decisions that you make. This is a good business move for me, so I'm going to go ahead and do this.
Right.
Now that he's lost, is like, was it really the best business move in that moment, or was it the best long-term play, or was it short-term thought?
I think that's a good point. Like I said, I don't know. But what Trump did in all three of their cases was use them, and I think he used them to see, hey, I'm a president for everyone. You know, in Ice Cube's case, hey, I have a plan that's going to be good for the black community, you know, and, you know, you have 4 years to roll out the platinum plan, you know, 4 years. And now right before the election, now you roll something out. I'm just like everybody else, you know, you didn't build a wall. You didn't get Mexico to put it up, you know, and pretty much anything that you have talked about has been smoke and mirrors. It hasn't been real, has been tangible. So I don't know why anybody would put themselves in a position to broker any kind of deal with Trump unless there's gain for yourself, you know. So that's how I kind of felt about all that kind of stuff. But happier days are ahead. So maybe not in the divisiveness that us people have with one another, but I'm hoping with a president that can garner respect, because I think now you saw other countries excited about Biden being elected. That's bad, you know. And let me say that is really bad when other countries are celebrating that Trump is out. That's bad.
That's not bad. It's reality.
But I mean, that's bad. That's a bad look for Trump as a person. Like, other countries that have nothing to do with America here are happy that you are leaving. That, to me, I would feel some kind of way. Like, I made some mistakes, but I'm not Trump, and Trump ain't me. And he probably looks at like, forget them.
Yep.
Anyhow,
something happier. Let's talk about your in the win.
Our Falcons did get a win. We are currently, since Dan Quinn and Dimitrov got the boot, they got fired too. We're 3-1. That game, we have a really good record against losing teams. All the teams that we've beaten have losing records. So I don't know how I feel about these wins. I compared one of these wins to cubic zirconium. They're not the real thing. But we're going to get our chance against the Saints. And the next weekend, that's when Vernell, we can find out, mano a mano, are we real? Is Raheem Morris real? I think our offense is real, been real. Our defense, I don't know. But we've played better over the last few weeks. Again, like I said, our record is 3-1 since they made the coaching change and the GM change. So I don't know. What is your kind of assessment on the Falcons right now?
Well, number one, be happy that a win is a win. So that's what you got. Number two, you still have some of the same issues, but at least you're figuring out ways to win. So be happy in that. You're, like I say, you're about to hit the division games, and those really count, especially going against, you got the Saints twice, you got the Bucks twice. You don't know which of either team is going to show up, because 1 second the Bucks can look like a juggernaut, and then they get their feet and hands put on them, as you quoted earlier. And the Saints look like they can be a juggernaut, and then next thing you know, they can't stop nobody on defense. So it should be fun this home stretch. I can see you guys mess around going 8-6, 9-7. I mean 8-8, 9-7 to end the year. Mess around, sneak in, and either you just miss the playoffs or you sneak in to get the playoff last spot. And then you have the big dilemma of, do you keep Raheem as the head coach?
See, again, that's actually the next thing I was going to ask is, do we keep Raheem Morris? And again, like I said, a lot is riding on what the team does next. Again, like I said, we're 3-1, but our 3 wins are all against losing teams. So I'm not one of those people that think a win is a win. I believe there's value in the win. If we had beat the Seahawks, there's value in that. If we beat the Bears, there's value in that. If we beat the Packers, there's value in that. But when our wins are against Carolina, and the Vikings, and then Denver, Denver has a rookie quarterback or second-year quarterback in Locke, and they've got injuries all over the place. No Von Miller. Their secondary is decimated. So, I look at that and I'm thinking to myself, we should beat them. When the game got tight, when they scored that last touchdown, which made it 34-27, I was in my head like, here we go. We about to cough this one up. So I don't know. I don't feel as confident about a win being a win. I do want to see what we look like against a team that is a possible Super Bowl contender in the New Orleans Saints. I want to see what we're going to do against Kamara. I want to see what we're going to do against Drew Brees, and I want to see what we're going to do against a divisional rival. Like I said, the Saints put a whooping on Tampa. So if we can play them and get a win, and I'm not playing close, we're not playing for moral victories here. If we get a win, then I'll change my tune about the Saints. But until that happens, I think you have to say no on Raheem Morris. I think you have to say no on the regime, this regime coming back for another year and coaching the Falcons. Because I'm still in the mode of let's rebuild this thing. Let's start over. I've seen this movie before. It's time to start streaming from somewhere else.
I can understand that sentiment.
So yeah,
I think that if Raheem messes around and get y'all in the playoffs, you got to give him the job.
Oh, no doubt about that. No, I'm not going to disagree with that at all. I think you're right on that. Like if he takes that 79 Buick and turns it into a Ferrari, why not? Give him a shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Either way, y'all gonna find a way to get a mid-level pick and not do anything with it. And and Tack McKinley.
Well, we knew that was going to happen. He didn't want to be there, and if you didn't know, he got Tack was waived, and he had several tweets and things on his Instagram story. He didn't want to be a Falcon anymore, and if somebody doesn't want to be on the team, somebody doesn't want to row in the boat, you got to let them go. You got to let them cut loose. So let's give somebody else an opportunity, and I'm not going to say good riddance because we wasted a first-round pick for him to be here. And I still remember his draft speech when he hugged Goodell. I thought, hey, this is going to be a player, an impact player for the Falcons, and it just didn't work out like that. So hopefully it'll work out for him somewhere else. Maybe he'll end up on your Packers.
I wouldn't think that, but if he were to, that'd be awesome. If he played great, we could use it. But he also stays hurt a lot too, so yeah.
He does stay hurt a lot, So that being said, we move to your Packers. It's been a while since you guys played on Thursday night and played against the injury-prone, COVID-ridden 49ers. What did you think about that victory there?
Hey, W's a W. I don't care if it's me and you that show up on the field. You got to get that W. That being said, Rodgers looked really good. Devontae Adams looked like the best receiver in the game. Do I think he is? He's up there.
Say it with your chest. I'm about to say it with your chest.
He's up there.
That's what he thinks anyway. He thinks he's the best wide receiver in football.
Hey, you got to have that confidence. What's he supposed to say? No, I'm not. I'm say Jerry Rice had it on their field, so you can get away with it.
But Jerry Rice was the best wide receiver in football.
But that's what I'm saying. Jerry Rice isn't on that field now.
No, he's not.
You can say it and get away with it. So, hey. But yeah, Devontae, him and Aaron have been in a great rhythm most of the season. Uh, yeah, we were able to figure out some things. Even our running back room was hurt slash had COVID. So yeah, San Francisco is just San Francisco now. You know, no Garoppolo, no Kittle, whole bunch of no name guys. They put up some points late, but thankfully the game was already in hand. So yeah, we got Jacksonville coming up. Take care of Jacksonville, and then get ready for who they got next following week. I think the Colts after that. Yeah, we just got to get these wins because right now everybody else is losing around us. We want to get that one seed, get the bye, have home field throughout. Nobody wants to play in Lambeau in January.
Too cold for all that nonsense.
Yeah.
Too cold. It turned. I thought that the Bears were going to keep up with you, and now they lost like the last 3 straight, so they're like 5-4.
Bears are the Bears.
and they're also asking for Mitch Trubisky to come back because I guess Nick Foles is stinking up the joint. So, which is crazy because you go from Nick Foles back to Mitch Trubisky. What do you have? You have no quarterback.
Yeah.
But all that being said, and I know what the little cheesehead is going to say in your heart. Do you believe in your package? Do you believe that this is their year? Is Aaron Rodgers going to get one more Super Bowl than Brett Favre? Can he make it there?
Yes.
I didn't feel the confidence in that. I didn't feel you know what, though? The NFC is wide open. There's no telling who's going to make it. You know, I thought the 49ers were going to make it. I thought Tampa was going to be better, and they're just so inconsistent. So it could be, the Packers and them getting whooped up by the Chiefs.
Chiefs won't even make it.
You don't believe that?
I don't.
You don't. Yeah. Oh man! But huh?
See, you like how I played that?
Yeah. I did. Let's come back to this Devontae Adams thing though. He said that he's the best wide receiver in football. You know, Julio said he's the best wide receiver in football. We can both agree that these guys are top 5 right now, right?
I mean, I heard Keyshawn Johnson say picking out a wide receiver is like having a bird, having 6 in one hand and a half dozen in the other hand. You know, you can't. There's nothing wrong. You can't go wrong with either one. So, you know, who would be your top 5?
This year, Julio, even though he's been a little banged up and stuff like that, he still doesn't get in the end zone. He's still explosive. You saw that play they made where he spun, stiff-armed a dude, and then carried a guy to the sideline. He still showed you that he's a playmaker supreme. I'm really a fan of this DK Metcalf, Megatron 2. Yeah, I won't say Megatron 2. That's disrespectful. But he's of the ilk of Megatron with the physicality, big, strong, fast. I like him. There's always D-Hop in the mix. Devontae Adams. This is not in a particular order. Devontae Adams, I think he's come a long way. I think him, like you said, him and Aaron have a rhythm going. And it always helps when you and your quarterback are on the same page. And let's see, my last wide receiver. Should I be a homer and say it? I'll say Calvin Ridley before he got hurt. He was up in there, route running. Route runner. He was early on, he was in the top 5 in yards, top 5 in touchdowns, and all that good stuff. So,
you tripping. Yeah, you tripping. You weren't mad on him.
Well, the first four were good. You can't complain about the first four.
Yeah, but that last one was so bad and almost makes the list horrible.
Well, I can't put Antonio Brown there because he hasn't played. Odell Beckham is hurt. So who's your top five?
Okay, so Julio, DK, D Hop, Devontae, and then that 5 spots, especially for this year, is definitely not a hit or miss. I mean, you could go Stephon. I would go Stephon Diggs before I go Calvin Ridley. You would go Keenan Allen. Who else? Nah, I ain't going Chase Claypool. That's just tripping.
I really don't feel like Ridley was that far off.
It is pretty far off.
Oh no, man! Oh no! I know you watched some of them games. I know you saw.
Yeah, Allen Robinson. I put Allen Robinson ahead of Calvin.
Mm. He's a good one.
You know, Allen Robinson is better than Calvin.
I don't know. I think Calvin Ridley, had he not been hurt, I mean, he's been playing banged up. I think his numbers will be astronomical right now. I think you would have to think about it. But then I could say same thing about Odell Beckham as well.
Odell Beckham didn't play in Cleveland, his numbers would be great.
That's true. If he had a wide receiver quarterback he could play with, he would be awesome. I don't think Baker's there yet. Not yet. Well, since we brought up Antonio Brown, we touched on a little bit. Saints, Tampa, that was not the game that I thought we were going to get. I thought that was going to be a good game. I don't think old Tampa Tom has ever been beat down like that on a Sunday night game. I think it's probably the worst whooping that he's ever taken, and he took a beating of epic proportions. The Who Dat Nation, was ran all up through him. So what is your take on Tampa? Tampa Tom, Tampa, period. Antonio Brown.
I mean, you can't blame the loss on the AB. I mean, just like any quarterback, you get pressure in their face, they tend to fold. And New Orleans kept the pressure up on Brady. Yeah, Brady was throwing it to them.
3 picks he threw.
Be like that.
Go.
A whole bunch of punts. Yeah, he was getting rocked over there.
Well, the other thing about them is that playing against Saints, the Saints defense is starting to get healthy now. A lot of players are coming back off the injured list, so they were able to create pressure on Tampa Tom. So, and then, I don't know. I really don't know why the Saints are so hard to stop. Is it just Kamara?
No, I mean, Drew Brees is flying it hit everybody, on the little 10-yard routes. Why am I yawning? Jesus. Ooh.
I know. I just seen all 32 of your teeth.
Man, boy, that was tragic. Yeah. Yeah, all them little short routes and little crossing routes. He just figure out ways to get, guys get open. He gets it to them, and let them do the rest. Alvin Kamara are good for taking a swing pass and turning it into a touchdown.
He's such a hard runner. I enjoy watching him play. But, I heard on –
hard runner with great balance.
Exactly. You can see now that last season he was just hurt, which is why he had a down year. This year, like I said, he takes a negative 2-yard swing pass and makes like 15 yards. Yeah. I would think, though, from a defensive standpoint, that I would want to bring all my DBs up, because I don't think one thing I haven't seen Drew Brees throw is that deep ball, and I would try to force him and press him to throw over the top on me. I don't know why teams aren't playing that. It's probably easier said than done. Drew Brees, for what he's lacking in his physical stature and physical ability, he's still got the mind. So I don't know. So Do you think your Packers, if they play the Saints? I don't answer that question because I don't need to hear your homerism. Don't.
You just said Calvin Ridley was a top 5 receiver.
I mean, I might have been shot out about that, but I was struggling at that moment.
Yes, we would beat the Saints. Again. On record.
Say with chest.
Why did it look like you were buffering?
Say what you chest. Maybe I was buffering. I think my Wi-Fi signal good.
No, you were good. You just all of a sudden started moving out of nowhere. Oh, he's really saying that they're going to beat it. Yes, we would beat them again.
Okay. All right. So I'm looking for Packers, Saints, NFC Championship. That's what I'm looking on because we ain't going to be there.
In Lambeau.
Nah, I much prefer New Orleans. I don't like when the weather affects the game.
You talking like you going to the game or something. Get out of here.
I'm talking like I don't like elements to affect my game, sir.
No.
That's how I'm talking. I don't like it when the snow and the rain affects the game. I know people say, "Oh, that's football weather," but I like it when them quarterbacks are able to let that football fly.
Nah.
I don't like to see quarterbacks run back with snot boogers on their nose and stuff like that.
My quarterback is used to throwing in the snow, so yeah, I'm all for everybody else coming to do it too.
You're just selfish, man. Just that's all. You're not thinking about the game. You think about Joe Packers.
Yeah, and I voted for Kanye.
I heard he has. I heard he talking about some fraudulent votes too.
What kind of man?
No, I'm kidding. He didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing. You know what's kind of fraudulent though is they got this the NBA is about to start up in December. December what? 22nd?
1 second.
December 22nd. Man, that's a quick turnaround. I don't know if LeBron James is going to be ready. I don't know if he's going to sit out, but you can rest assured there's going to be some serious load management game.
Yeah, I'd say it's a 71-day turnaround for him and the Lakers and for the Heat. But most other folks have had a good rest, especially ones that didn't go to the bubble. They've been chilling for the last 8 months.
Like Golden State, like
Atlanta, Minnesota.
Well, ain't nobody worried about Atlanta. Nobody's worried about Atlanta, I don't think yet, unless they make one of these trades that they're supposed to make. One of the trades is Gordon Hayward possibly being traded there, which would make Atlanta more interesting. But what are they going to have to give up? So, anyway, huh?
So, not really. They wouldn't be interesting.
I'm not a Hawk fan, so I can't call you a hater.
Touche.
But just like Giannis is going to leave y'all from Milwaukee. But anyway, I mean Miami. But
get that head out your heart.
What?
Stop hating.
That's not what I do.
I'm gonna sign that Supermax in a couple of weeks, and yeah, then this joke can finally stop. I'll be so happy when it does.
But if he doesn't, if he doesn't,
then we just got to play the season out and win the title.
With who? Same team, Eric Bledsoe?
Moves will be made.
I hope it starts and ends with Eric Bledsoe getting off your team.
Moves will be made.
I hope it starts with Eric Bledsoe getting off your team. Because if Eric Bledsoe is there by the time you guys make it to the playoffs, looking at the same result, Ian.
Moves will be made.
You can say it intensely all you want.
Okay, that's what I want to
do. over under on the Lakers repeating if they start the season. Well, first of all, let's get to this. We all know that they want to. The players don't want to play just yet. Some of them, and some of them do. But we know that if they, for some reason, try to push this back a little bit further, then the owners can potentially opt out of the CBA and creates mayhem for the NBA league. Mainly the players, all those gigantic contracts that everybody's signing, all of a sudden they go bye-bye, and we have to potentially have a holdout, lockout situation. So that's why they're in a rush to get this season. Also, they want to protect the 2021, 2022 season because they're looking to have fans back in the stadiums. What are your feelings on that? Do you think this is safe for them to come back and play as far as the games for the players, that is?
For the players, I mean, if you're still keeping the same kind of like testing protocols, only just not being in a bubble, sure, people need to be responsible outside of just the bubble itself. So, hey, I'm with that. That being said, as far as fans in the stands being done, no way in the world.
Yeah, I don't think there are going to be any fans for this season. But I do think in the 2021, 22, when the owners are looking to make most of their money back, if not more, they want to protect that season. But I just meant the health of the players as far as coming back from such a short turnaround. The teams that played the bubble. Go ahead.
As I say again, most of them had a nice long break plus a 3-month break in between before the restart. So
okay,
that should be fine. If you're not,
okay,
you on that Sean Kemp workout plan.
Well, that's the kind of workout plan I'm on now. I like Sean Kemp's workout plan. It works out just fine for me.
Slim slow?
Slim, not at all. Oh man. Did we hit every?
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I was gonna say, but if they do come back on the 22nd, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna watch. Hopefully, I'll work. But if I don't work, I'll still watch. And yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that being said, Ian, because your eyes are closing, any final thoughts? Because you're talking like this.
Hey man, I'm deep in thought.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you all that support the podcast. Check us out on our Instagram page at 2 Pieces in a Biscuit. Follow me on my Instagram page, Rusty for the Win. And yeah, we would love some sponsorship, and we definitely shout out any and everybody on our show. And again, thank you to Kobe for the beat for the intro. And Lawrence, I appreciate you.
Hey, that was nice of you. And I appreciate you too, my brother. I appreciate you too.
Yeah, I'm definitely sleepy. It's time to go. I'm giving you compliments. What the hell's wrong
with me? You finally seen the light. That's what's wrong with you.
Twilight.
It's still a light.
Light.
It's light on your tummy. With that being said, this is it for 2 Pieces in a Biscuit.
That was your final thought?
Oh, my final thought. Oh, yeah, thank you. My final thought is
goodbye. Off.
Click, and I'm just still talking to myself. My final thought is, hey, you don't have to agree with everybody, but you do have to respect everybody. And I hope going forward with the way things are in this world, that we just respect one another. And that's it. We can listen to each other. And if we can listen to each other, then that's a start of something. So anyhow, that is my final thought. Now we can say it's it for 2 piece and a biscuit. And Ian said something nice. We're gonna keep that.
Nah, strike that. Edit.
No, we keeping it. We
Edit.
keeping it. We keeping it.
Edit.
Peace, and we out.